Here's the president yesterday in front of the World War II memorial. This is what he had to say.
Everybody, I want you to know a little something about Mr. Overton here. He was there at Pearl Harbor when the battleships were still smoldering. He was there at Okinawa. He was there at Iwo Jima, where he said, I only got out of there by the grace of God.
God.
When the war ended, Richard headed home to Texas, to a nation bitterly divided by race, and his service on the battlefield was not always matched by the respect that he deserved at home.
Stop for a
this
second.
This veteran held his head high.
This is the portion of the speech that I could not take.
Mm-hmm.
My Uncle Leo, was there on D-Day on the beaches. He had a thick Italian accent. He was the only one in the family that was allowed to come over. The rest of the family had to stay in Italy, but they didn't know how it was going to end, and they thought, we're probably on the losing side here in Italy. They weren't on Mussolini's side, per se. They just were on the losing side. They sent Uncle Leo. Now, Uncle Leo was an American citizen. He was born in America, but then they moved right back to Italy. So he came back as an American citizen, and he volunteered to fight. Now, he is fighting as an Italian. I mean, and he has he still does, a very thick accent. Well, they thought he was a spy, and he was an Italian, and so they treated him like garbage. His best friend was an African American. He begged them, don't make my friend go on D-Day. He can't swim. You put him on the boat and he can't swim. He'll never make it to the beach. You can't do it. He can't swim. And his commanding officer said, well, he'll learn. Well, he didn't learn. And my Uncle Leo saw his friend shoved off the edge. My Uncle Leo, a very small man, tried everything he could to bring his friend up to the surface. He couldn't do it because of the packs and everything else, and he drowned. Why did he drown? Because he was black. And why didn't they listen to my Uncle Leo? Because he was an Italian. So I got it, Mr. President. I got it. America was bad in the past. And let me tell you something. America's bad right now today. Got it, Mr. President. It's Veterans Day. Can you not make everything about race? Can you not, even on Veterans Day, can you not just leave it alone one day? Oh, my gosh. I am sorry. I got up this morning and I said, I'm not going to be that man anymore. I'm not going to talk about this guy anymore. I am not going to let him get me upset anymore. I apologize. Many Americans, Mr. President, who vehemently disagree with you, agree that America has been a bad place. But once in a while, just once in a while, it would be nice to have a president that would say, but it's really a glorious place. It is really a place of just massive brightness if we choose. And we have chosen before, and we have had those moments. But you don't believe that. You believe the only good moments we've had is when somebody stood up. When somebody stood up against a special interest that is only revolving around you and your heritage. Tell me about the struggle of every man. Every man to be free, Mr. President. Every man. You can't do that because the bright light in this world came from this country for every man. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. President, we did have slavery. We don't anymore. We did have slavery. You know who the first slave owner was in America? My gosh, he was a black man. He was a black man that went to court and said, I bought him. Not just as an indentured servant, I bought him. I own him for life. It was a black man that made that case, Mr. President. Seems to me that this isn't a white issue. Seems to me that slavery can happen to anybody. It just depends on who has the power. And at that time, the court system was willing to listen to a black man wanting to own another black man. I thought this was a white problem, Mr. President, but apparently not. I'm so offended. But we haven't even gotten to the point yet to where this guy has the audacity, not of hope, the audacity to smear and to lie and to connive right in front of your face. And most Americans don't even care. After closing down the World War II memorial, after taking 80 and 90 and 100-year-old men and treating them like garbage, yesterday he has the audacity to say this.
He carried on and lived his life with honor and dignity. He built his wife a house with his own two hands. He went back to work in the furniture business. In time, he served as a courier in the Texas state capitol, where he worked for 4 governors and made more friends than most of us do in a lifetime. And today, Richard still lives in the house that he built all those years ago, rakes his own lawn, and every Sunday he hops in his 1971 Ford truck and drives one of the nice ladies in his neighborhood to church. This is the life of one American veteran living proud and strong in the land he helped keep free. And earlier this year, the great folks at Honor Flight Austin brought Richard to Washington, D.C. for the first time.
Stop. Oh, my God.
They brought him for the first time.
Brought him for the first time. The people that he tried to shut down.
Well, he did shut them down. The
good folks at Honor Flight. The good folks at Honor Flight. The extremists that we had to have the Capitol Police stand against. Build a fence around that damn memorial. Oh, my God.
And kept the Honor Flight veterans out. They were the first group they kept out.
Men like that. Men like that.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if the president, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But if this same story was of a man who was not of African-American descent, I wonder if his story would have made its way to the president's desk. I don't know. I would hope so. But can this man take one speech, one day, and not make it about race?
No,
he can't. No, he can't. Can this man not be duplicitous one time?
No.
You shut down, you do everything in your power to shut down Honor Flight. Do everything in your power. Build a fence around it. So the people at Honor Flight, and then have the audacity to send your own people out there to harass and harangue and to call the congressmen that are opening up the gates that you erected, and have the audacity to call them names, and then to stand as the hero. I can't take it.
You seem to be handling it pretty well so far. I'm surprised he's saying it.
I tell you. I know. I tell you. There are times that you just need to turn the tables over.
Yes.
There are times that you have righteous indignation.
And that's definitely one.
And you know what? That's fine. And that's fine. If people don't want to see it themselves, that's fine. But I won't play a part in that. But I just don't. I apologize for... I just can't take it. I just can't take it. And I don't know how people do. And I don't think they do, quite honestly. I think they have this vent at a kitchen table. They have this vent in the coffee shop. They have this vent in the cubicle of where they work. They vent at the bowling alley. They vent. And nobody ever hears them. And I apologize that you have to hear my venting, but I can't take this guy.